This is Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher. I'm back for another weekly cross stitching update. I hope everybody enjoyed my craft room tour I did last week. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on that video, and luckily not too many of you were sick from camera shaking. Really appreciate everybody who took the time to watch that one and leave a super nice comment. I did get a lot of questions on that video, so I will address questions I got after I introduce my finishes. I do have a couple of fully finishes. I don't have any finishes, but I have a few fully finishes. They are behind me, as you can see. The frame is balanced pretty precariously. I will pull it forward and I just hope nothing falls. But I'm gonna start with the smaller finishes first. My first fully finish was this Shepherd's Bush kit called Friends. And in the video where you saw it, I had this button where the chart said to put it up top. But I really wanted to try doing a heart pillow finish on this one. So I just freehand cut the heart shape and it turned out okay. I just did like a spotted peach on the back and I moved the button to the bottom. This is stuffed with a mixture of polyfill, walnut shells, and sawdust. Speaking of sawdust, I got a few questions on where I got sawdust, and I got mine off Etsy. So it was difficult. I'm not gonna lie. This was hard. I've never done like a pillow in an actual shape before. So there is like an oops where my sewing machine it wouldn't, I don't know how to explain what was happening. It kept not letting the layers be like flat. Like they kept trying to bunch up because I'm going around corners on the sewing machine. That was annoying, but when you can't really see it on the back, the front is all flat. So I'm super happy with the way it turned out. I did glue just with Aleene's tacky glue. I just glued on this Lady Dot Creates chenille in the color Only on Etsy. And I think it turned out really cute. Just a sweet little springtime bowl filler. And now this one has a bit of a tale of woe. Okay, this is my Stacy Nash Animal Cracker, Maggie May. I stitched her in a Belle Soie conversion just from Stash. I got many questions about her sweater color, and it is Pom Pom Pink from Belle Soie. So, lessons were learned on poor Maggie. In the chart, the directions say cut a 1/4 inch away from the stitching and then sew right sides together, your backing fabric and the stitching. Well, so I did that, and I should have just thought about it for a minute before just going, but I was just scared to do it anyways, and so I just like went. Do not leave a 1/4 inch. Please leave more. Please leave more, at least a 1/2 inch, I'd say, at least a 1/2 inch around your stitching, because the 1/4 inch after you sew it is not much room at all. And then I've done enough pillows at this point. You would think that I'd have more experience here. What I should have done was sewn all the way around and cut a hole in the back when I was ready to stuff her and then sew it and patch it. But I was not thinking. and instead I left the bottom open to stuff. So as I was stuffing, the linen was coming unwoven, and it came unwoven all the way up, you can see it, to her shoe. Devastating blow, but I just had to keep pushing through. So I got her all stuffed. She's stuffed with a mixture of sawdust and polyfill. Got her all stuffed, and I had to do like the ugliest Frankenstein stitching on the bottom to get her closed. There's like gapping here because I couldn't pull very tight, otherwise the threads would just keep coming unwoven. So I do need to get some like fray check or something to put here to just keep it from going any further. And so it looks a little funny down there. But when she's in the bowl, you can't see it, luckily. But lesson to all of you who have never finished one of these, and lesson to myself for next time. There's still sawdust all over her. Sew all the way around. Give yourself at least a ½ inch margin and cut a hole in the back for stuffing, and then patch. And you'll be fine. Because otherwise it really wasn't very hard. It was just my own mistake down here. But she's still very cute, and she looks really cute in this bowl. Okay, I got a lot of questions about these other pillows in here. This chart is Sheltering Tree Spring from Annie B's. I got this question probably 12 times. I'm pretty sure this is on 40 count. God, guys, I probably stitched it at least 5 years ago. I think this is my first ever project on 40 count. So even on 40 count, you get a decent sized pillow. So Sheltering Tree Spring, Annie B's. This chart is an etching. I don't know, spring etching maybe. This was in a Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, but the designer is Heart in Hand. She does those other etchings. So there's those. My next fully finish is a chart that I finished stitching not that long ago. This is Every Opening Flower from With Thy Needle and Thread. I picked out the frame at Hobby Lobby. This is just one piece, and then I added this. They don't call it a fillet. They called it something else, but it's much thicker than a fillet, beaded inside. I originally wanted to go like solid gold, kind of chunky, ornate frame, but none of them were just looking right when I laid it on my fabric. I really like this kind of burnished, bronzy brown frame, and then the pop of gold brings attention to the lighter colors in the stitching, I think. So this pinning and lacing this one was super easy. I'm not sure why. It just really went very smoothly for me. I'll show you the back. There it is laced. This is probably the best lacing I've ever done. I was quite proud of myself. So I'll show it close up. I have gotten questions about this one. What is the blue that I used here in this border and the bird and the bow? And it is Classic Colorworks Barrel Cactus. The house is called for Mountain Mist from Gentle Art, so I did use that. It was also supposed to be Mountain Mist in these, but my Mountain Mist was really, really green, and I did not want a green bird, so I just swapped those little spots with the barrel cactus. I'm really, really proud of this one. It's the second I had it finished, it was on my wall. So I get to see it every day. It hangs right in my living room next to where I stitch, and it makes me very, very happy. Okay, so whips that I have worked on in the last week. I do have a new start, just one, I believe, and I worked on quite a few whips. I was like a fart in a skillet the last week. I was everywhere. I could not decide what to stitch. I switched projects sometimes 3 or 4 times in a day. So I don't know what my deal was. I just couldn't settle on anything. Feeling restless on all my projects. So I will start with the one that's just right here, which was a new start. And part of my haul, I finally got one of my market orders in. This was the one I got from Chantel 141. I got Lily from Stacy Nash. I was so excited to start her. I started her as soon as I got the chart. I'm stitching her on 40 count Little Bunny from X-Jude Designs. This is a gorgeous fabric. I think it's one of the most perfect neutrals, and I really like the way that the animal crackers colors pop off of the Little Bunny. I did stitch Lily on 40 count because she was quite a bit taller than Maggie May, and I just wanted to do her on 40 for that reason. So if they're a bit bigger than, you know, Maggie, like what is this one? 55 by 113. So yeah, she's a bit taller. So I did her on 40, and I'm doing all of the called for colors. I've got both her little legs done and the bottom half of her dress outlined and one arm. She is so, so cute though. I can't wait to get her all finished, but I did get a little bit burned out by Maggie with all that fill in, so I'll just take her even slow. It's fine. She'll get done someday. So that was my only new start in the last week. I did pull out Baltimore Salt Box from With Thy Needle and Thread. This was my car stitching project for a while, but guess what? I don't really stitch in the car. So it was kind of just in there. So I pulled it out and I brought it in. Let me pull this down. And thought, hey, I don't have a ton left on this. Like, I could maybe finish it for my next video. You guys, this flag is huge. 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 So here's where I am on it. I finished all the windows and doors in this house, and I added the star. I extended the flagpole, and I've done this much of the flag. It was a lot. Just overwhelming, the size of the flag, and it's just dense stitching all the way there, and then I still have the roof. Oh, so I was like, yeah, this is not getting done before my next video. And I don't know if I'll keep it out or if I'll just put it away. I don't know. And this one is just one of those projects where, like, I never want to work on it. I love the way the chart looks when it's finished, but I never ever want to work on it, and I'm not sure why. I do need to finish it this year though, because I don't want it to linger for another summer. Okay, another whip that I worked on was my red sampler, Neeltje Cornelia Van Buren 1903. This was the exclusive in the Hobby House holiday box. Audrey Marine, Stitch Bead on Instagram, just finished hers, and it's what really motivated me to pull mine back out because it was gorgeous. Forgot my board again. I do like having the board though. Okay, so this is stitched on the called for Mason linen in antique button light. This is a 46 count. And I'm stitching it with the called for Avera Soie 103, but I cannot remember the color of it. So I picked out the letter that I had accidentally skipped over here. I was about here with the borders, and so I extended all of these borders up. I made it to the top corner and rounded the corner. I forgot that there is a single stitch border that goes all the way along these two. And I added this much of another alphabet. And there's another alphabet up here. I think maybe two more. And I love stitching on this. It's just one of those like soothing things. This fabric is amazing to stitch on. I love it. It's very luxurious and the holes are so easy to see. So yeah, I lost my train of thought here. Once you like get in the rhythm of a border, you just keep going and you don't even need to look at the chart, and it's just really easy stitching. Even though it's on 46 count, like it doesn't feel like that. And I just love it. It's just so pretty. So there's my progress on that one. And then I also worked on a study in nature from the Artsy Housewife. I'm stitching this on 40 count light nougat from XG Designs with the Vicki Clayton silk conversion. So I was determined to get this wing 100% finished and this flower, like this side, 100% finished. And I am very happy to say that it is. I finished filling in this big part of the wing and this part of the body here, and then I did all this flower. And while it doesn't look like a lot, it took me 2 days. So like 2 times of stitching. The colors are just so pretty, and the silks are laying so nicely on the fabric. Oh, I just love it. This fabric is dreamy to stitch on as well. So now I have the body and the head and the other wing and flower motifs to go. I don't know why I can't just ever keep going on this project for longer. And like I said, I just have been all over the place. I can't commit to a project for more than like a day right now. Just antsy. But the other wing is totally different than this wing, so that'll be nice to have. It won't feel very repetitive. This project is so pretty. I love it. We're going on almost a year since I've started this project too, but that's okay. Okay, another project I worked on was Jessie Challenor. I am stitching the faded colorway version. This is an exclusive from the Attic. If you want to order it, you can call the Attic and decide which colorway you would like to stitch it in, or just get the chart. Do whatever you like. Okay, I am stitching Jessie on 40 count Dust Bunny from Fox and Rabbit. And here is where I made it to. I said in my last video that I would not take her off the hoop until I had completely finished this motif here. So I am happy to say that this little section is totally done. I added a couple more motifs. I extended this little border and this border and this border and filled in a couple more alphabets. And then I started on the side of, there's a big, in the hiccups, a big potted plant here that has multiple flowers on it. So I started that here. It's just so pretty, and it's really enjoyable to stitch on the 40 count with the 103s. I do like stitching on 46 count with the 103s as well, but 40 count, you know, it's just slightly easier to see, and it's really enjoyable, other than the color changes. The color changes get really annoying. So I can only do it in little, you know, sections because it drives me insane. But it's so pretty. If you follow Jo Florence on Instagram, she's almost done with this, and it's gorgeous. I love the birds at the bottom. I really want to extend this border and get to some of the birds. So I'm really loving how that is looking. Jeez. Another whip I worked on. Like I said, I was all over the place. This one I didn't work on this one for very long. I just wasn't feeling it. This is the Artsy Housewife Coffee and Eggs. I'm stitching on 40 count XG Designs Grandma's Slip. And for some reason, this 40 count from XG is really tight. I've never had that problem with XG fabric being tight, so I don't know if it's just the process of dyeing this one, but it is really tight, and I'm using cotton, so it's kind of like annoying. Like my hand gets tired. So I'm stitching this with a mixture of the called fors and from Stash. So all I did was extend this stem down and add this stem. So now the stems are totally done. And I added these 3 flowers. I was going to try to finish all of the flowers, but there was just other projects calling to me, and I wasn't enjoying myself. So I'm not going to stitch on something that is not bringing me joy, because what's the point? I love this chart. I love it. I love the fabric. I love the colors. I'd love to have it on my wall someday, but I have to be in the mood. I have to be in the mood. Like, I don't know if you've watched Everybody Loves Raymond. It's one of my favorite TV shows in the entire world. I've watched it more times than I can count, but every time I say that, I have to be in the mood. I always think of the one episode where the one friend says, okay, the mood, give me directions to the mood. That's how I feel. Okay, last whip. I worked on Eliza Townsend. 1835. I am stitching her on 36 count caramel from Seraphim Fabrics. This board is not going to be big enough, but it's okay. Just show the part that I worked on. I'm stitching this with the called for NPI silks. Only slightly regretting doing NPI on 36 count because she's big, but it's okay. So what have I done? I started this little doggy. I added the second and third borders up to here. I added this flower and doodad, and then I added this doodad, and I outlined this flower. I extended the grass, and I started on this tree. I did this whole house and tree that goes above the house. The house is like a minty green color. It's really fun. I love the light blue, and I love this pink. I do feel like I'm stitching with quite a lot of gray on this chart, but when you look at it overall, overall you're not seeing gray, but I'm stitching with quite a bit of gray. This flower, I have one bone with this chart, one bone. This flower is called for to be filled in with this color, not the red, this color, brown gray color. I had it filled in halfway and I hated the way that it looked. So I was talking with some friends and they suggested, you know, using a different pink that's in the chart, but there's no different pink in this chart. There is one pink. So another friend said that they just went in their stash and they picked a different pink that went with this pink, and that's what they're subbing for inside this flower instead of doing this brown color. I'm definitely going to do that. It's hard to choose online though. So what I'm going to do is when I'm at Hobby House next month, I'm going to pull this thread and match another lighter pink that will coordinate with this. When I'm in person, I can see them so that the flowers are pink and not gray, brown. That's the only thing. Otherwise, this chart is really easy to read, really enjoyable to stitch. And the triple border is a pain in the butt, but I like the effect that it gives. It's really pretty. So there is my Eliza. And that concludes the whips and projects that I have worked on. I can get rid of this board. Oh no. I do have a very small amount of haul. I got one of my market orders. I got the order I placed with Chantel. My other market order from Farm Girl Dry Goods has not shipped yet. On her website, it says that they are hoping to have all the orders out by this weekend, so I'm hoping that's the case. So I will show the other two charts I got from Chantel from Market, which was Spring Trio from Thy Needle. Summer Trio was out of stock when I ordered, and that's okay because one of my friends got Summer Trio instead of Spring Trio, and we're just gonna swap when we're done stitching these. It works for me. I did pull all of the called for colors. I think these are all the called fors. All the called for colors and the called for fabric, which is 36 count winter brew. So that's potential to start in the next week. I also got the new Stacy Nash Rose Hill Farm sampler. Thanks to my friend Jessica, I have the called for fabric and I have all the threads here. So this is ready to go whenever I am ready to stitch it. I would like to start it this spring because the border is very springy vibes. So potentially in the next month or so to start this one. And that is all of my haul I have to show today and the finishes and whips. So I will go into plans. I don't make plans. I'm a free spirit when it comes to what I want to work on. I do have a few whips that are kind of tickling my brain. Consider the Lilies. I haven't touched that one for a while and the colors are all really bright and happy. So that's a potential to pull out for a few days. Spring Trio is a possibility to start. I don't really have very many whips that are super close to a finish other than Baltimore Salt Box, but I'm struggling with wanting to stitch on that one right now. I have been thinking about my Kathy Barrick Christmas Quaker stocking. That one is pretty close to a finish. I think I'm at about 60% on that. So if I pushed, I could get much further. So that's a potential to pull out and get going because I do want to start her new stocking that is the companion for this one that she just released. Seeing as it calls for all the same fabric and floss, then I already have that. So that's a potential as well. Otherwise, we will both be surprised with what I pull out next week. It's possible I might not film next week. The kids are going to be home for spring break and my 3-year-old doesn't nap anymore, hasn't napped for a really long time. So if I can find a quiet little bit of time to film, I will try. But it's possible there might not be a video next week. We'll see. I'm gonna do my best though. So with that being said, I don't think I have any plans that I will get to before the next video. So I will do life and shows. Life, I really don't have. Oh, I guess I do have a little bit more haul I can show. I did buy some PDFs. I bought some Hands Across the Sea PDFs. Let me turn up the brightness here. I got, oh, let's not show you the chart, huh? I got Anne Ogston, 1868. Happy is the man that dieth in Lord. Morbid. Anne Ogston, I don't know if she's on the website yet, but Nicola posted in the Friends of Hands Across the Sea Facebook group exclusive links to go buy this early. So I bought the PDF. I love Hands Across the Sea PDFs because they come with a 1-page chart. So there's no page breaks. I love it. And the other PDF I got is Elizabeth Dinsdale. I wanted this one the second I saw it released, but I just never pulled the trigger. So I love that one. And then the last one is a Little Gems, I think is what she calls them on her website. And it's called Where Flowers Bloom. It's so bright and happy. And it's pretty small too. So sorry, that's other parts of my haul. Okay, life, there's really nothing. The weather is so nice. It is 60 degrees today. And it's gonna be mid 60s tomorrow. And potentially 60s on Wednesday. Wait, today's Tuesday. Potentially Thursday. Warmer too, but by the weekend it's supposed to get cold and more snow. If you could see outside, you'd be like, no way, it's not snowing this weekend. But if you lived here, you would say, yeah, it's probably gonna snow this weekend. It's like a fever dream. These few days of 60 degrees, it's not real, but it is so nice. And I really want to get out and have a walk in the sunshine. I am a ghost. I need some sun on my face. So, and next week is spring break for the kids. So my son will have a break from speech. But my daughter goes to dance in the town next to us, and their schools are out this week for spring break. So we don't have dance this week for their spring break, but we will have dance next week for our spring break. Kind of annoying, but it's okay. So I'm just going to go into shows. We finished Severance season 2. It was so good. It was so good. We were yelling at the TV the last episode. It was just wild. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it was very, very, very good. I am now very sad that I have to wait probably 2 years for the next season. We watched a couple of movies. We watched Heretic on HBO. It has Hugh Grant, and it's like a thriller horror movie. I really wanted to watch it because in the preview, it starts with these 2 Mormon missionary girls coming to this man's house to teach him. And I mean, it's just funny and interesting. So, but it was so good. Like, the end, I mean, let me organize my brain. Sorry, glitching out. Hugh Grant did such a great job being this creepy dude. He needs to be more roles like that because he's a natural. But the movie was very good, very entertaining. I definitely recommend if you're in the mood for a horror like thriller movie. I started watching the last half of season 5 of the latest season of Yellowstone. They finally released the second half of that, whatever current season we're on. And it's like, meh, I can't get into it. I don't know. It's just kind of annoying me right now. And I haven't watched any of the new season of 1923 because I've also heard that it's kind of annoying. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll watch that for any time soon. And I don't know that'll keep going on Yellowstone. It's kind of just like, or is this even going now, you know? We watched another horror movie on Netflix called Things Seen and Heard with Amanda Seyfried, and I can't remember the dude's name. He was in Midnight Mass on Netflix, and he was in Friday Night Lights. I can't remember his name, but it was very Amityville horror vibes. It was good. We liked it. Had those oh my gosh moments. So we were just in the mood for those kind of movies. Oh, there's a documentary on Netflix. It's about an hour long, and it's called The Twister, Caught in the Storm. It's about the Joplin, Missouri tornado in 2011. It's like, if you ever look at videos of tornadoes, like it's almost always the Joplin tornado that you see because it was just insanely huge. And so this documentary talks about that tornado, but it's mostly focusing on people who survived the tornado. Insane. Insane. The stories and experiences of these people are absolutely crazy. It was very, very interesting. So I definitely recommend watching that one. And then last night we just finished a show on Netflix. It's a newer one. It's called Adolescence. Really good. I wasn't really, I mean, it tells you obviously what the show is going to be about when you watch it. About a kid is a 13-year-old boy is accused of murdering a classmate. And so you think it's going to be about the trial and the evidence and all of this, but it's not at all. And I was going in expecting it to be, and it wasn't. And so I was a little like, at the end, I was kind of like, what? It's over? Like, we don't know anything. But that's kind of the point of this show. And it's filmed all in one continuous shot. So there's no cuts. It's all one continuous shot. And I love when movies are filmed that way and shows are filmed that way. It makes you feel like you're there. So it's like, yes, the boy is going through like the legal aspect and the being in jail aspect, but you're not really like focused on him. He's more like a side plot. You're really focused on the people around him that were affected by what happened. So his parents and his sister, his classmates, professionals that worked around him, the psychiatrists, psychologists, the jail workers. Like, it was just really interesting. It was just like a totally different take on a situation like this. And so when it ended and you don't know the outcome, you don't know. It was just like, I don't know. And I really felt for it because you're more like put in the position of the parents dealing with the outcome, like dealing with this kind of a situation. I don't know. I just thought it was really good and really interesting. And it's like been on my mind all day just because it was so different. So I really recommend that one. It's only, I think, 6 episodes. It's a limited series, but it was really good. So I don't really have anything. Oh, I've been watching the new Wheel of Time season. But the episodes are so dark. I can't see anything. So it's like I can't watch it during the day. It's too bright. I can't see the TV. I can't see the screen, period. So I'll watch it in the evenings on the nights my husband goes to the gym and I can actually see it. He doesn't like that show. He's not a big like magic world kind of show watcher. He'll watch some with me, but this one's a bit too much like for him. So we watch. He doesn't watch that one with me, which is fine. He watches stuff I don't want to watch on his own time. So I do want to finish that. There is a new season that just premiered of Antoinette, which is a PBS Masterpiece show. There's only 1 episode out right now. The first season, gosh, was forever ago. And so I need to rewatch it because I don't even remember much about it. But I know that season premiered. I do need to watch because it's now all out. The newest season, All Creatures Great and Small. But it's like I'm saving it or something. Like I can't bring myself to watch it. Do you guys do this? You're like saving a show for like a certain mood you want to be in to watch it. I know this show just makes me so happy. It's like, I can't watch it yet. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. So we'll see about that. I've been watching Sanditon again. I love that show. It's another PBS show. But like there's a couple, I'm trying to think. I know that there was another show that I wanted to watch with my husband together. I just can't remember. We're still watching Slow Horses, but we got sidetracked by Severance. I'd like to watch Silo, and I mean, there's like probably 3 or 4 different Apple TV series that I'd like to watch. So that's really all I have to show today. I hope you liked seeing everything out here. Oh, I did want to thank, I was the gold Flosstuber on Just Keep Stitching's Pam and Steph's video this last week. So that was really cool. Thank you, ladies. And yes, I forgot I did want to do a thank you for that. So I will hope to see you all next week. I hope you are enjoying your weather, whatever your weather is, and your stitching. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye. Did you think we're done? Psych. We're not done. It is sometime later, and I realized I totally forgot to even address the questions I said I was going to address that I got in my video. So just really quickly, questions that I've gotten, I'm going to answer them here because it's just easier. What is the blue used in every one? I did that. Okay. Did that one. Okay. What size of Lori Holt trims am I using? The Rick Rack trims that I use from Lori Holt are size large. I know she has a smaller size. I have not used that one yet. I've only used large. The rolling carts here are just 10 tiered tray rolling carts. I got mine at Michael's, but I know they sell them on Amazon. You Google it, 10 tiered, 10 tray rolling cart, and you'll find a million different places you can buy them. My fabric dresser was a hot topic of discussion. Yes, it is glorious. I love looking through them. Yes, I am a hoarder. This dresser was just from Wayfair. It was pretty cheap. I had to build it myself, obviously. But yeah, it's literally just a dresser off of Wayfair that I store all my fabric in. I'm trying to think. I did get one more question from the video that I cannot remember what it was. I thought I wrote every one of them down, but I know I'm missing one. And then I addressed the others of the pillows in the bowl and the thread for every opening flower. So sorry, I totally forgot to answer those. And also on my video last week, I forgot to insert the dining room clip that I said I was going to put in the end of the video. Totally forgot. So I will do it at the end of this video right now. Bye for real this time.